Now you're very welcome to another programme of What Matters with myself, John Prendergast, in the company of my very good friend and colleague here in Cappin, County Limerick, Billy Maguire. Billy, it's great to be with you today. And, of course, our very good friend, our beloved friend, Lotta. Lotta's always part. Lotta's nearly as famous as you are now.
She doesn't want to be left out.
And she's perfectly right.
Yeah, we live in harmony here.
Yeah, isn't it great? Thank God.
And
Billy.
we have the other bit at the other side, which we're going to show today.
Yes, no, that's wonderful. Billy, I just want to say a very sincere thank you for the wonderful commendations from the people in America, Chris Fogarty, and all the great people there that have complimented the programmes. But
I complimented you, John, and the diction they say is excellent and is perfect. And the GA are taking this up in America. And what we're going to talk about is reading that letter first, and then we'll talk about the GA.
Yes.
Taking off the sovereign seal and air off.
Lovely.
Nobody has the right to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to push that out?
No, this is lovely. I'm getting a lovely scent of this beautiful. Is that a vine, is it?
Yeah, there's the grapes over your
And the
head.
grapes are over my head. They're dropping down on top of me. God,
that's wine.
Grapes.
It's red wine, this one.
Red wine.
If you go the other side, it's white.
I'll be intoxicated by the time I get through the door there. You know, it's a wonderful setting here in Cap, and no wonder you're so peaceful here. It's great. The whole hinterland of Kappa is beautiful.
Very quiet.
It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, very good.
Absolutely beautiful area. Right, I'm going to read this letter, viewers, that has been written to Anuchtran Naheran, Michael de Higgins.
Well, now, first of all, John, I have to correct you. He's not Uachtaráin na hÉireann.
Right.
He's the provisional president of the Royal Oireachtas.
Yes.
And that was imposed by King George V.
The Fifth, yes.
And as president of the Corporation of Ireland.
Oh, okay.
The Corporation of Ireland. This is what we're against.
Okay, right.
But we're not against it, but we want to tell people what it is and what you can expect from them. Nothing. You know?
Well, people are talking. They're talking because I got to know you, Billy, about 2 years ago now. And it's the best acquaintance introduction that I ever had.
Oh,
and because I'll tell you why. Teachers have been on to me and they've been saying, we never knew this about the IRB. We never knew this about one aspect of the history. The IRB, the everything to do with that. And all the volunteers.
They gave their lives.
They knew a certain amount. But now, I can tell you this for certain, and I mean this, the interest from both the teaching profession and the laity, if I can call it that, like myself, the interest in history, our history, is huge. And it's gaining huge momentum, even with the younger generation. And that's why, Billy, I say to all the historical societies across the country, keep the work up, keep it focused, get the information out there because people want to learn that. We've heard so much about COVID, we've had so much misleading... But we've had so much misleading news about the economy, that it's growing, people are suffering, they can't pay bills.
Propaganda.
It's propaganda. So people are tired of this. They want to learn.
That's what we're against.
What we're Irish are all about.
Well, John, the conflict between us and Britain, which was never discussed, and they airbrushed out history,
yes,
is the 1918 32 county election.
Yes.
Called by Britain on the 14th of December 1918 when the war was on. And what happened after that was on the 28th of December 1918, IRB Sinn Féin won 73 seats out of the 105. The Unionists won 25 seats. The Nationalists won 6. And there was an independent. And that's the mandate we were given to found and fund the state.
Yes.
The 32 counties of Ireland was the 32.
Never heard of. And teachers and people of history have said that to me.
It comes back to this.
It does.
And this is where, and the conflict is that King George V and his government refused to recognise that mandate that the IRB were given. And as you know, we bought Vaughan's Hotel, 29 Parnell Square, Granby Road for that. And all Cumann na Fianna, Aine na hÉireann, all the volunteers, they were all in there, Labour, all those people were there. And that's where our sovereignty comes from. And sovereignty comes from God.
Yes.
Whereas a corporation is man-made.
It's man-made.
As is the proclamation, and rightly so. But that's fine. There's no problem with that,
Hmm.
and there's no problem with if the state was set up as a corporation, which it was.
Yes.
In 1922, which we're coming up to the 100th anniversary. That's why we're doing this. A corporation must be accountable to the sovereign state, the sovereign government, and the sovereign people. That's all you have. And on the 21st of January every year, that's our sovereignty, it's our Independence Day. On the 20th of January, the day before, all licenses are only valid from the 21st of January to the 20th of January. And then that's why you have to account then of what you did for the year. And you have to get a new license on that. And this is how they control. And the IRB, I think, were extraordinary people that they could understand. If you haven't got sovereignty, you're a slave. And there were horrible times that they went through. But they were able to come through it, as we will be able to come through it now. And we have the largest territory. When we were given that mandate on the 21st of January, our Independence Day, all our territories from down the Irish Sea, Britain, to America in the Atlantic Ocean and Canada. There's the boundaries. And they go back to the Brendan voyage and go back to...
I was just about to say it, that the link is enormous.
It comes from God. And that's what's so important. Anyway, we better...
Now, I'm just going to read this letter out, and it's a 2-page letter, and I think it's absolutely fantastically written, and well done to all.
John.
No, well done to Billy. It goes directed to Mr. Michael D. Higgins, Provisional President of the 26th County Irish Free State Land, and Royal Oireachtas, Orasa Ruachtaran, Phoenix Park, Dublin. And it comes from Billy McGuire, Lee House, Kappa, Askeaton, County Limerick, Éire, entitled Irish Republican Brotherhood. You have been indicted for treason by the Irish Republican Brotherhood, IRB, under their 1916 proclamation, the foundation document of the state, the Sovereign Republican of Éire, and the democratic wishes of the sovereign Irish citizens, who gave the Irish Republican Brotherhood the mandate in the 1918 32-county Democratic All-Ireland election called by the British government on the 14th of December 1918. The IRB, political wing Sinn Féin, won 73 seats out of 105 on the 28th of December 1918 and was ratified in the Mansion House, Dublin, and GHQ Vaughan's Hotel, Dublin, by the Sovereign Dáil Éireann Government, the Sovereign Republic of Éire, all 32 counties, territories and seas on the 21st of January 1919, our Independence Day. On the 17th of March 2021, the Irish Republican Brotherhood were commemorating their 163rd anniversary at 16 Lombard Street in Dublin. Our volunteer had just read our 1916 proclamation, where he was pepper sprayed and assaulted by An Garda Síochána after reading our 1916 proclamation, and taken then to Pearse Street Garda Station and charged in court by a Free State judge. The IRB were complying with COVID-19 regulations, and An Garda Síochána at Pearse Street Garda Station were well aware that the IRB were commemorating their 163rd anniversary of the founding by James Stephens of the IRB at 16 Lombard Street, Dublin, as they do every year since 1858 on St. Patrick's Day. The Irish Republican Brotherhood's 1916 proclamation clearly states, Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God, the Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and woman. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, and we pray that no one who serves this cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity, or others. The Sovereign Constitution. This Constitution shall be the Constitution of the Republic of Ireland, proclaimed in arms on Easter Monday, April the 24th, 1916, and established by the will and wishes of all the people of Ireland on January the 21st, 1919, our Independence Day. All authority in Ireland, legislative, executive and judicial, and all powers of government are derived solely under God from the people of Ireland. These powers are inherent in the people alone by virtue of their sovereignty. They must be exercised in accordance with the principles of liberty, equality and justice for all. Any legislation not in accordance with these principles is hereby declared null and void. The conflict with the British for the last 100 years in the Crown of England and the British government refused to recognise, respect and honour the legitimacy of the 1918 32-county All-Ireland democratic election called by the British government on the 14th of December 1918. King George V and his British government declared the sovereign Dáil Éireann to be an illegal assembly and sent his Cairo gang to Dublin to execute the sovereign Dáil Éireann government, democratically elected by the will and the wishes of the people of Ireland. Democratically elected, citizens of Éire, all 32 counties, and all members of the IRB, and on Bloody Sunday, the British Crown forces opened fire on our sovereign people, citizens of Ireland, at Croke Park, Dublin, and killed 14 innocent people. The source of this is the Vaughan's Hotel papers, source Sam Maguire. Says a lot. Your contempt, hostility and dirty tricks that you have played on me as the anointed president of the Irish Republican Brotherhood, IRB, is unjust and unfair to me, as I carry out the mandate by the will and the wishes of all the sovereign Irish people that gave the IRB political wing Sinn Féin in 1918, 32-county All-Ireland election of the 14th of December 1918, and won 73 seats out of the 105, and on the 28th of December 1918 that happened, and ratified by the sovereign Dáil Éireann government on the 21st of January 1919, our Independence Day, in the Mansion House, Dublin, and GHQ Vaughan's Hotel, Dublin, and established by the Sovereign Republic of Éire and the Irish Free State Provisional Government, which cannot use the Irish Republican Brotherhood Sovereign Seal of Dáil Éireann, 12 strings, AD, falsery, or any of the IRB's Sovereign Seal or Harp, BC, or our sovereign tricolour flag of green, white and orange, or the IRB's 1916 proclamation, or the 1919 Sovereign Constitution, or Declaration of Independence, or address to the free nations of the world under pain of death, and all appointments and legislation and use of the Sovereign Seal of Dáil Éireann are all now null and void. The Irish Republican Brotherhood will lease their sovereign Republic of Éire to a sovereign state that will comply with the 1918 32-county All-Ireland democratic election. All our sovereign 32 counties, all our sovereign territory, the largest in the European Union, and all the sovereign seas from its border down the Irish Sea to its border with the United States of America and Canada under the peace, reconciliation and prosperity process that was founded in the 1950s by Pope Pius XII, Monsignor Hugh O'Flaherty, IRB, and Ambassador P.J. Kiernan and his wife Delia Murphy, and my late father Martin W. Macquarie, and is restored, and if until restored there is no peace, reconciliation or prosperity process in the sovereign Republic of Éire today. The IRB want the conflict between the sovereign Republic of Éire and the British be ceased once and for all. The IRB was founded and funded the state, the Sovereign Republic of Éire, wants the British government and the Crown to recognise, honour and respect the mandate that was given to us in the 1918 democratic 32 counties of Ireland election and set in place in the Peace, Reconciliation and Prosperity Agreement started by Pope Pius XII in the 1950s. The IRB do not want another 100 years of mayhem, brutality, savagery, propaganda, lies and deception forced upon its people. For your perusal is enclosed a copy of the proclamation, the Sovereign Constitution and Declaration of Independence and address to the free nation of this world. That is fantastically written.
Thank you, John.
Congratulations to you. You say that actually, yes, please.
And at the end of it, the other page, you can get that up on billymaguire.com.
Yes.
That's there for everybody. And it was signed and sealed under the sovereign seal of the sovereign.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to have a further discussion with Billy on this incredible document. Back with you very shortly with What Matters programme.